You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Uhuru, foremost, I want to thank Chairman Yeshitela and Chairpersons Odom, Hess, and Neville. We have no words for our appreciation of solidarity, love, and support shown by the Uhuru movement to Leonard and to ourselves. It is exemplary and shows the strength of unity and solidarity in movement. We stand in solidarity not only with your acquittal, but vindication in the face of your political prosecution. Leonard, of course, sends his gratitude. As you may know, we began this year with a triumphant motto coined by Brother Daruba bin Wahad: "We will not give up the fight. Fight we will for Leonard's freedom. The struggle for Leonard's freedom is not over until it is over. We will use every available legal mechanism to secure his release, but we know the law and justice are not the same thing. And so the law alone is not sufficient to access meaningful justice. As such, we encourage continued legal support, but also social and political support for Leonard. Leonard had his parole hearing on Monday, June 10th, 2024, and we feel that he was as supported as possible. We are aware that the parole system itself, like every part of the criminal penal system, is both a political and legal process, and the flaws in this process, specifically concerning Leonard, have been meticulously documented by the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention. The appropriate inquiry for the Commission is to assess the person who is before them, not the alleged offense. Leonard's parole hearing lasted more than 7 hours. There was nothing unexpected about the hearing itself. The surviving loved ones of the agents killed on June 26, 1975, gave impact statements, as did representatives from the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of North Dakota. Dr. Renee Morrissey and organizer Nick Tilson, the only two witnesses permitted to testify on Leonard's behalf, spoke compellingly regarding Leonard's seriously deteriorating medical condition and the plans made to care for Leonard upon his release. Dr. Joel Morrissey particularly gave thorough testimony highlighting the ongoing long-term medical neglect to which Mr. Peltier is subjected. Related to the Maya Angelou quote that is often quoted, perhaps over-quoted, that I spoke of earlier, but still rings relevant and true today about our resilience as a people. But as Sister Warrior poet Audre Lorde said, our silence will not protect us. We were never meant to survive. Our legal team, likely a first in Leonard's case, was led and delivered almost entirely by marginalized and colonized lawyers, legal workers, advocates, and medical professionals, including the formerly incarcerated. Myself, attorney Maura Meltzer-Cohen, Dr. Giselle Diaz, Kalanji Jamachanga, Miss Lawson, Miss Lee, Dan Battaglia, Dr. Morrissey, and Dr. Ricardo Alvarez. Also, even the Water Protector Legal Collective, led by 3 Indigenous women who represent Leonard on separate matters, have played an instrumental role regarding his religious rights that should not be forgotten. We do not believe faces in high places makes a difference, only serving to be complicit in falsely underscoring and advancing the power of the state. I, as lead attorney, was present at the parole hearing. I devised the overall legal strategy and framing regarding Leonard's post-conviction relief, civil, and human rights. For the past year, I have been working to ensure Leonard's medical care is both constitutionally sufficient and in accordance with human rights provisions. I also developed the constitutional analysis with respect to all aspects of Leonard's case. My esteemed co-counsel, attorney Maura Meltzer-Cohen, brilliantly developed and delivered the arguments to support Leonard's release. Attorney Meltzer-Cohen also in part developed and devised the legal framework for Leonard's parole. Unfortunately, Kevin Sharp was not permitted to deliver arguments to the hearing examiner nor present evidence during the hearing. Leonard was asked about the underlying offenses, but he also had the opportunity to speak about his grandchildren, and his personality and pride really shone through. A massive amount of material was presented, and we hope the hearing examiner has been convinced of the obvious fact that if released, Leonard is not in danger of violating the law, and that after 50 years, his release will not be seen as promoting disrespect for the law. We expect a decision within 21 days and are responsible for spearheading any necessary appeals and subsequent litigation, though we hope such action will not be necessary. We thank everyone who contributed to this process, including our families, our mentors, and shout out to Attorney Meltzer-Cohen students at CUNY School of Law, the National Conference of Black Lawyers, and the National Lawyers Guild, both organizations on which I serve as a board member. We also express sincere gratitude to the members of the NLG Mass Incarceration Committee Old Law Prisoner Project, Professor Chuck Weiselberg, Attorney Brad Thompson, Professor Audrey Bumpsey, Attorney Michael Kuzma, Dr. Joel Morrissey, Dr. Giselle Diaz, Kalanchi Jamachanga and Black Power Media, Celia Talvi, the Leonard Peltier Official Ad Hoc Committee, the Jericho Movement, and all those who have supported our work and advocacy. This work is part of a long tradition of liberation for all colonized people everywhere. When we fight, we win. Uhuru.